And welcome to another episode of the Nindie Focus Podcast. My name is Roger. Along with me are my good friends and co-hosts Jordan.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
And Phil.
Hello.
Welcome to today's show. Guys, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you agree to abandon humanity, time, and accept immortality?
Is this a religion thing?
Yeah, come on, man.
That is the question that the game Everhood poses to you, the very first question you get in that game. And I'll be talking about that game on tonight's show. But yeah, that's
I would abandon anything for immortality. So yeah.
You could answer yes or no. Spoiler, I did answer yes. So we'll talk more about that game. And then we also be talking about Towaga Among Shadows. Is that how you pronounce that game?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
It is now.
So that was our switching on a budget game. So we'll talk about that. Before we get into all of that, though, let's go around and talk about what games we're currently playing. And Phil, I'm going to start with you. What games are you currently playing?
That's a bad idea. I had a bad week.
Oh, and Mike, I'm going to start with you.
That's an even better idea. I had a worse week.
Okay.
No, I
was waiting for Mike to be like, my week was worse. My Switch fell in the toilet. I can't play anything on the Switch anymore.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many times that happened. That's why I wrapped my Switch in saran wrap. You laugh. Go ahead and laugh. It works.
Okay. Okay. Phil, did you really not play anything? I'm just curious. Okay. No, it's fine.
This is the week I'm going to start lying?
Okay. Mike.
I mean, sure, maybe. But no, I honestly don't think I played anything indie related over the course of the last week. And I really only recall playing video games like 1 to 2 days this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Phil, I do want you to pick up Everhood because I want to get your take on that game. So that came out today. Today is Thursday, the 4th of March. So I do want to have your take on that game. I want to hear what you have to say about that game.
Mm-hmm.
But Mike, did you play anything this week?
Well, I played the game that we're talking about.
Okay.
And I did not have a whole lot of time. Like it was a rough week, but I did. And I'm gonna reiterate this. I'm glad that we're talking about this because I'm going to reiterate a message that I sent to the three of you and follow up. And now I've got a question for you.
Oh.
I downloaded Bit.Trip Runner because it's on sale. Mm-hmm. And I recommended that you download Bit.Trip Runner because it's on sale. So my question is, did you download Bit.Trip Runner because it's on sale?
By the time people listen to this podcast, the answer will be yes, Mike.
You know what? I'll take it.
How much is it on sale for?
$1.70.
Yeah, I'll definitely download that.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of games for 17 cents in this sale.
Yep, absolutely. And it was, what is the name of it?
Cubic. This is the Cubic games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Which surprises me that the Bit.Trip games are, I'm not saying Cubic makes low quality games, but the Bit.Trip games have had a, they've got a really good following.
Yeah.
So, but if you're going to, there's a whole bunch of them. There's like 5 of them. And these games originally appeared on WiiWare. What I'm going to say is the 2 ones to get are Bit.Trip.Beat, which is the first one, and Bit.Trip Runner. It's not that the other ones are bad, but they're rhythm games. So I'll do with Bit.Trip.Beat, and that one's so good. It's like playing Pong.
Yeah.
And it's like playing first player Pong, I guess you could say, or one player Pong. And you have to bounce like these dots. It's all 8-bit graphics, but the music is so good and so trippy. And as you hit the dots back and forth, the graphics in the background change and like things get really crazy. So that one is absolutely a ton of fun. The other one, Bit.Trip Runner, is an endless runner. Same deal. You have to jump, slide, kick over obstacles, things like that. And again, it goes along with the music. So, you pretty much have a good idea when to jump because when you jump, it makes a sound effect, and that sound effect goes with the current track that's playing. And it's really, really good music. So,
Yeah.
Every game should have a music thing like that. I want to
Yes.
press buttons to music. It's always good.
oh yeah, don't get me started on those music levels in Rayman Legends.
Oh man, this is the second time tonight
Oh,
I've
man,
talked
those are the
about
best
this.
ones.
They're a work of art.
Yes.
I know you're going to be really mad. I've never played that game, but
What? Oh
I
my
did.
God, dude.
I know.
What the heck?
I
Well, that's
know.
okay. I can't be mad at you because this is an indie podcast.
That's
so,
right. That's right. I have played.
Yeah, we'll get mad on a
Bit.Trip.Beat.
different show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I did play Bit.Trip.Beat though. That I do love that game. That game is really good.
Yeah.
And I wonder how, because I didn't pick it up for the Switch. I'm going to pick it up for the Switch. But with the Wii remote, I remember you would turn the remote up and down, right?
Yeah. So you would hold the Wii remote sideways and kind
Yeah.
of like tilt it or spin it
Yeah.
to move the paddle. I don't know. I haven't played. I just played Runner, but I didn't play Bit.Trip.Beat, so I don't know how that works.
Yeah. Some other games that are part. So the other thing that I will say is part of this sale is that you do have to own one of the games. I think there's like 3 or 4 games that you have to own for it to give you these sale prices. And one of them was a free coloring book. So they did this last time too, right? So
Yep.
if you download that free coloring book, then these special deals open up for you. Mana Spark, I think that was one of the 17-cent games.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh yeah, I played that one a bit. Yeah.
It's good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Odds are, if you've been listening to the show, you likely have one of these games, so you'll probably qualify for the discount.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will certainly go out there and get the Bit.Trip games. Very cool. But you didn't play them yet.
Just the one.
Just the one. Okay. Anything else?
That is all.
Jordan, what have you been playing?
I put about 10 hours so far into a game called Littlewood,
Oh, I
nice.
saw
which
that.
is
Yeah.
just out on Switch. It's been out, I think, for like since 2019. I think it came out originally on PC or something, but
Oh.
it just came out on Switch February 25th. So I picked it up this Sunday, put 10 hours into it. It is amazing.
Yeah.
If you like Stardew Valley type games, I would say it's like a mix of Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing in a way. It's really, really cool. So the premise of the game is essentially the big bad in this fantasy world has just been beaten, and so now you've returned back to this town, and you don't have your memories, but you are the hero that slayed the big enemy, the wizard or whatever. So you saved everyone, and now you're back at this town, and you're just things are chill. So you're just going to rebuild this town, and people slowly start moving into your town because they hear that you're there, and they want you to like get them a house and you can go mine, you can cut down trees, you can do crops, there's animals, there's a tavern that you can cook food, just all that kind of stuff is there in all those games. I guess I'll talk about why it's a little different than some of those games like Stardew. For example, Stardew can sometimes get a bit stressful because you're worried about the day-night cycle, since the day and night is always moving.
Yeah.
So you'll be like, oh, I really wanted to go talk to this person, but I really wanted to go mine today, but I really wanted to go do this thing. And it can get actually kind of stressful. And then you're like, oh, I forgot to do my crops today, and now it's like midnight and I have to go to bed. And those games could get kind of stressful.
Yeah.
In this game, the day-night cycle only moves when you do a thing, such as pick a crop, craft something, mine something. So every little thing you do like that moves up the day-night bar, essentially.
Oh.
So basically you can spend as much time as you want just running around and rearranging your town, which I'll get to in a second. But so you can spend hours and hours on that in the same day without having to worry to go to bed. You only will need to go to sleep once you've basically used up all your actions for the day. And different actions have different, it looks like that moves up the bar a little bit differently. And then you can do cool stuff like you can date to get married. You can every day you can like talk to all the people that are in your town, and you can like have one hang out with you, and they'll just like follow you around as you move around the day, and they'll just like randomly find the currency that you can use and stuff while you're doing things. So it's like, oh, I found 20 dewdrops. So it's just a good reason to have someone following you around. One of the coolest things is like Animal Crossing, how you can kind of design your own town. Like, oh, I want a river to go here. I want a mountain to go here. This game has that as well, but it's way quicker and way easier. So you can basically, from the get-go, pick up anything you want. You can pick up a tree, you can pick up a rock, so you don't have to worry about clearing those out. You can just move them to where you want. You can basically build up or down. So there's multiple levels, stairs, rivers, all from the start. You can do it how you want. And it's super, super easy to do. And the cool thing is that for every person that comes to your town and has a house, you build an item in there that's like a notebook. And basically they have like certain things that they want their house to look like. So they'll be like, I want this type of wallpaper. I want this type of floor. I want this chair, this dresser. And there's like a bunch of pages of these. You can see like 6 at a time or something. And so it's just one way to like kind of accomplish something. So you're just like giving them the house that they want. So everyone's house will end up looking different inside because they all want different things. And oh man, what was I going to say? Yeah, there's just a lot of cool stuff like that. Basically, everything gives you XP. So like gathering, farming, fishing, bug catching, mining. There's like a card game in here. There's just a bunch of stuff. And you, even if you just pick up like one weed, you'll get an XP and that'll level up. And then you can do more stuff, obviously, as time goes on. There's a lot to it, honestly. There's always something to be doing and accomplishing. And everything is giving you rewards for it. So every time you do a single thing in that person's house that they want, you'll get some of the dewdrops, which is the currency. Every place that you build, like the blacksmith or the general store, all have an upgrade path in there that you just go in, and first it'll be like donate some currency. Then it'll be like, you need these kind of planks and this and this and that. There's a hot air balloon you build and that can take you to other places. I've only unlocked like half of those so far. There's just so much to this game. And it's so good. I put like 10 hours into it without trying it all, and there's still so much left to do. There's still so many places to unlock, so many buildings to unlock. Yeah, it's great. Like if you just want a game just to chill with and just like always feel like you're accomplishing something every single day in game, this is like the perfect game for you. And it's only $15.
Wow.
I've like already gotten my $15 worth since like Monday when I bought it, and I'll easily put in 10. I'll probably put in at least another 10 this coming week, and probably still have so much more to do because there's just so much in this game.
Wow. So Jordan, I have some questions about.
No, wait, I've got questions.
No, you got questions.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, I thought of something I want to ask.
Yeah. Mike, do you want to go first?
No, after you, man. After you. Let's not
we do this again. Take another shower.
Is there online to this game?
Nope.
Okay. And is there battling, did you say?
There is you unlock a little like card battle system. So you we'll go around to the different areas and find cards scattered around and build your own deck. And then you will play against people in this little like card dueling area. But
there's no like questing or anything like dungeon delving or anything like that, right?
I mean, there are enemies when you go into the little like forest area or the mining area. There are enemies they have to watch out for, because if you get hit once, then you are knocked out of that area, and you can't go back in. So like if you're like, I'm going to go in there and cut down a bunch of trees, and then you get hit right away, like you're done for the day on that. So then you'd have to go mine or something. So there are enemies and stuff, and I don't know if there's ways to defeat them, but for example, in the tree area, there are the trees that they're like sleeping, and then they'll wake up when you get close and like do like a root attack. And if you dodge that and then hit them with your axe, then they'll like go to sleep for a while. And so you have time to like move around and be fine or whatever. So there are like enemies, and I actually just built something in my town that is a quest board. So now when I go to it every day, it'll have a quest for certain people that'll be like, I want this fruit, or I want to mine 9 ore with you, which means that you go to them and say, let's hang out. And then you go mining and stuff like that.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting this game.
Yeah.
$15. Totally.
Yeah. I remember the thing I was going to say too, that was cool about the building thing, is when you go and see the request in their house, there are also, it won't just be furniture and stuff like that or wallpapers. It'll also be like, I want to be this many like squares away from this building or something. And so they'll be like, I want to be 16 squares from the marketplace, or I want to be more than 16 squares from the quarry, or I want to live on higher elevation. And so everyone has a request like that too. So you're depending on, what they want or don't want. And obviously you want to fulfill those because you get rewards. And so it'll like slowly your town will evolve that way, because you'll be moving stuff around and everything.
That sounds really cool. Yeah, I'm totally getting this game. Mike, did you have questions?
I got questions. Yes,
yeah,
I got.
Okay.
So my first question is, what are the graphics like?
They are, I would say they're fairly close to like whatchamacallit, Stardew Valley.
Okay.
Like they're like that, like more low poly. When you talk to people, they have a little portrait that comes up with the dialogue and stuff like that.
Gotcha. And my second is not so much a question because I already know what the answer is, but it's more like a wish. I would love to see a game that's similar to this, but more along the lines of, since you're in charge of everything, like a Needful Things type situation where you can like just sow discord among the town.
That would be cool.
Is there a Penny character named Penny in this game, Jordan?
I sir, there better not be.
Not that I've met yet. No.
Mike started on Penny.
Mike loves Penny from Stardew Valley.
Oh, yep.
Cool.
She broke my heart.
She did break your heart. And then what did you do?
I got back at her.
Yeah.
Burned her house down.
Her mother was on the mend from her alcoholism, and I brought her right back off the wagon.
Wow.
Yeah, the bus driver behind you.
Oh, right.
I just want to say that. Yeah. Yeah. I will say though, Penny was kind of mean to you, Mike.
Of course she was.
I mean, when she brought you into the classroom and then somebody said, "Is this your boyfriend that you're in the trees with?" And she was like, "Oh, no.
Yeah, she lied too. At least cop up to it, lady.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on to something else.
Anything else, Jordan?
Nope, that's it. I basically just played this all week.
Nice. For myself, so the game that I alluded to in the beginning of the show, the game that I have been reviewing, and it came out today on the 4th of March. It's out on the Nintendo Switch. It's also on Steam as well. So if you're a PC gamer and you listen to this show, you might listen to the show if you're a PC gamer. I'm not sure why, but you might.
You think you're better than us?
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, they do.
They do. Yeah. The game is called Everhood. It is a rhythm-based RPG game.
Ooh.
It is unlike anything I've ever played. So when you start off the game with the question of, are you willing to give up your humanity and time for immortality? And then you're thrown into this game as a character named Red. You're like a doll, I guess. And your arm is ripped off by this little blue gnome, and you go chasing after him. And then you battle against enemies through music. And so it looks like Guitar Hero in the essence that the musical notes are coming flying at you, like, and those are the attacks, and you have to dodge the attacks. And the music is just so good in this game. I love the music in this game. And then so that's how you battle. You have to survive these rounds of music against these enemies. And it's the weirdest, trippiest, coolest game I've ever played. Like, it's so different. So I don't want to get too much into it because there's a lot that I think you'll want to explore yourself, but there's just a lot of questions, like weird stuff that happens to you. And there's just moments where you come back from the dead and you're like, what the heck just happened? It's just so bizarre. There are times so each boss battle is a little bit different. And some of them are not just boss battles. Like, some of them are, like, for instance, there's this minecart that you get on, and there's buttons on each side of the minecart. And to make the minecart move, you have to hit the buttons back and forth, right? So kind of like how you pump an old minecart. And then the musical notes are coming at you. So you have to dodge the musical notes while try to hit these buttons to make the cart go forward. It's so cool. I was like, wow, that's such a cool concept and addition into this game. There is this battle that you fight, and it's so trippy. And then your character is backwards. So everything's backwards. So the notes are coming at you and you want to turn right, but you obviously have to go left instead to make yourself go right. It's so trippy. It's so psychedelic. It's the weirdest, coolest game I've ever played. And then when you come back from the dead, and it opens up this whole new like world to you, and the world, like these, it's just these doors that you select. You have to go into these doors, and it's just so trippy. It's so weird. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you
Is
have
it
to play
basically
it.
like one battle after another, or do you get to physically
No.
control yourself and like move through a map?
Yeah,
Or...
yeah, good question. No, it's not one battle after another. You walk around a map, and then
Okay.
you'll run into characters. Like, my favorite one so far was this guy at this bar. So you go into this bar, and he, the gnome that took your arm, like, runs in this bar, and he gets into this VIP section of this like club, this dance club. And you're trying to figure out how to get into this VIP section, and then you run into this guy, and you spill his drink all over him, and he's like, "Do you know how much that drink costs?" And like, then he challenges you to a music battle, where you have to dodge his attacks, and he's pretty tough. I mean, he was probably the first one I was like, "Whoa, this is really, really tough." But it's just such a weird, bizarre, trippy game, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm not done with it yet. I played it quite a bit, but there's just so much to kind of figure out and explore, and like the character designs. So it looks like, the best way I can describe it, kind of looks like the late NES games, kind
Okay.
of. The character designs are very interesting. It's very trippy. But yeah, it's like, they bill it as an RPG, and it's an RPG in the loosest terms. Like, you don't fight. You're not like attacking anybody, but you're dodging their attacks. They like this music. It reminds me more of like if I were to play like a Parappa the Rappa type game meets like Guitar Hero. That's what it kind of reminds me of.
Huh.
Are there RPG elements to it at all, like leveling things up? And
not that I've seen so far. That's the thing that I was like, it's kind of interesting that they call it an RPG. I have not leveled up.
could that just be from like the open or the open world
Yeah.
exploration, like top views? Maybe that's where they're drawing that analogy from. I don't know.
And there's different quests. So like I said, when you get in, I don't want to get too much in it because you have to play it. But when you get into a certain part, there's this world that opens up, and it's just all these doors. And then you can select the different doors and explore the different worlds in these different doors. And the different things that happen in there, like there might be something where you have to get some characters asking for some characters asking. I'm just laughing because one of the characters is asking for something. They'll ask for something, and then you have to figure out how to get that item. So you might have to either battle somebody for it, or figure out another puzzle to get that item that they're looking for. There was one puzzle that I thought was really cool. It was just all these notes on the floor, and there was the doors locked, and there was music playing in the background. And I realized you had to figure out what that tune was, and then step on the right notes to make that tune play, and then the door would open. I thought that was cool. But then, but here's the thing. Remember what, 2 weeks ago, we talked about the Padre, and I said, you need like,
You said a lot of stuff about the Padre, Roger.
I did. But I don't like puzzles that just don't really explain things. But the weird thing about this one is, like, for instance, that puzzle, it didn't explain it, but I understood it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I figured it out. I was like, oh, those notes correlate to the music that's playing in the background. When's if I have that same pattern play that's playing in the background play, right? Because I noticed every time you touched the notes, then it would play the series of 5 notes on the floor like across, and I was like, okay. So explained it without explaining it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just really like this game. So when you battle, if you get hit with one of the notes, you lose HP. So you have an HP bar. And then between each phrase, you earn some of your HP back. There is different levels of this game, difficulties, I should say. So there is story mode. If you want to just play it for the story, you do have health in the story mode. It just doesn't go down as fast. Then there's easy, then there's normal, then there's hard, and then there's like uber hard, and then there is a new game plus that you can unlock too. And I will say, the more difficulties are very difficult.
That's good. That's good. They're living up to their name.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, so the way that you survive these battles, because really what you're doing is surviving these battles against these other opponents. So that it's a grid of probably like 5 or 6, maybe 6 squares that the music notes are coming down at you, and you move left to right. You can jump, but I had a really hard time jumping. That was my first inclination, is just jump over the notes, and that didn't work. I found that jumping left to right, jumping and then moving left to right worked, but trying to jump straight over the notes didn't. I don't know. It just didn't seem to. The delay wasn't. It didn't work. Like I couldn't get that. But other than that, I mean, it's such a weird game, and the
you had me weird, psychedelic, and trippy. Like I started downloading as soon as you said weird, psychedelic, and trippy. I'm like, all right, cool.
And when you play this game, they ask you questions about like, do you want absolute truths? Do you want to know the truths? Do you want to know this kind of stuff? And I'm like, yes. And then they give you something, and I'm like, okay, is that going to be used in this game? I don't know. I don't know what's happening. That's the thing I love about this game, because it's so weird and so trippy. I don't know what's going on, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I love what they're doing with this game. I love it.
Can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you stream it? I'd like to see what this is like.
Yeah. So I will stream it. The one thing I will say, and it says this in the beginning of the game too.
Don't stream.
No, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. It says that there's a lot of flashy. There's a lot of like strobes and
Yep.
flashes going off. If you are prone to like seizures because of the lights, the strobe lights, like this is not a game for you.
Photosensitive, I think.
Yeah, photosensitive. So
if you hear my lighter, it means the game finished downloading.
okay. What?
He's gonna smoke before playing it.
Oh, I see. I get it.
Thanks, Jordan.
Yep.
But I love this game so much. But yeah, I can stream it. I'll just put a caveat that if you are photosensitive, please don't watch that stream. So yeah, but I mean, that's other than the game that we're currently reviewing, that's for the switching on the budget, that's the game that I've been playing. I really haven't been playing anything else but that game, because it's so weird. I love it. Okay, well, let's move into our switching on a budget game then.
Yes, this means we have Mike reading.
Yes, Mike.
Yay.
Will you read this for us?
I sure can. So the switching on the budget game that I picked for last week was called Towaga Among Shadows, and it is currently on sale on the Nintendo eShop for the low price of $2.24.
Such a good deal.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
And the sale ends on March 17th, so you've still got time to get it. Right now, it's at its all-time best price, so do it. In this game, so here's the description. Fight the final battle and save your tribe from annihilation at the hands of true evil. People's fate are in your hands. Can you do it? Will you manage this task? Towaga Among Shadows is an action-packed game where your skill and perseverance will be severely tried. Atop the sacred temples, learn to master the light and exorcise hordes of enraged creatures firmly set upon tearing you to shreds. Discover devastating spells, improve your abilities, and unlock new outfits, granting you the power to fight Metnil the Voidmonger and his Legion of Darkness. Progress through over 60 levels and experiment 4 different gameplay modes while uncovering the mysterious past of the Azkalar through many story-driven unlockable artifacts. That's where I'll stop it right there. So
Yeah.
so
good game.
yeah, this was an interesting game. So basically, it's not like it's not a very involved game. It's not like an RPG that has like a 10-minute cutscene at the beginning or something like that. It's your tribe is wiped out. Your I guess your village is set afire, and you're trying to activate these 5 runes in order to defeat the evil bad guy that is set upon destroying you and your tribe. And essentially what it is, you're on top of the rune, you're trying to get it, to activate it. Meanwhile, you will be there's hordes of enemies coming at you from all sorts of angles. Flying enemies, enemies on the ground, enemies that ride on bikes, short enemies, skinny enemies, even enemies with chicken pox. I don't know. I was going with the Armor Hot Dog theme with that. And you just use the right thumbstick and you basically fire like a laser out of your hand, and you gotta just if one gets too close to you, it'll deplete some of your health meter, and if your health goes all the way down, you die. But there's different power-ups you can use. There's like a force push that pushes everybody back. There's like a freeze ray. So there's a whole bunch of different stuff that you can do to help defeat these enemies. So there's a story mode, and there's a survival mode, which I think I lasted 3 rounds.
Yeah,
I want to see what my furthest was on that.
Yeah, Jordan is really far, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Then there's also a really hard mode once you beat the game.
Yeah, it is tough too.
Yeah. And then there's also areas where this is where I think the game really shines, is the areas where you actually fly around.
Yeah, that's so
and
cool.
It becomes like a really stylish version of Geometry.
Yes,
very much so.
Oh yeah, I never thought of that.
Yeah. So the one thing I'll say about this is it's just the animation. I love the animation.
Mm-hmm.
It is so nice. I don't know. It seemed like very, I guess, Disney-esque.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
I'm trying
Disney with a small hint of Don Bluth.
Yeah. No, Don Bluth. I love Don Bluth animation too. So I can see that as well.
It's really good though.
Yeah. I was surprised at how good this is. And I'm also surprised that I never heard of something like this.
Same.
This game
It's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like very simple, but it's done so well.
Yeah.
It's not easy either. I suck at it. It's one of the two. I'm not sure which way this is going yet.
No, it's definitely one of those that because you can you get the currency and then you can level up, the strength of your beam, your health. So it's definitely one of those games where it's like you die a bunch as you slowly get the gems or whatever. And then health, your mana, which is your ability to use your abilities, and then the size of your beam, the damage it does, and then health and mana regeneration or whatever. Once you get them going, you can last for a while, but the survival mode is just hard no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I loved about the survival mode is that they had leaderboards and they showed you people near you. They showed you your friends and they showed you the world as well. And Jordan, you killed me.
I didn't even know there was leaderboards.
Oh yeah, the survival. I think your top score was 1,148, and mine was 421 or something like that.
Yeah, my survival is 1,125, and my flying is 1,252.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
I love that about the game. Oh, I love the animation in this game though. It's just because you all said this already, but it's a simple mechanic, right? You just move your stick left and right, and you're using your hands to basically shoot out lasers to these enemies coming in from all different directions. So the mechanics are simple, but it's the polish on this game is so good. So good.
I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely.
It's difficult, but not so frustratingly difficult that you want to stop. You just want to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's boss battles in it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think we said that the story takes about 2 to 3 hours, I think, to beat. But I think the real thing of this game is the arcade-ish version, the arcade-esque of the game, I should say, right?
Yep.
Right. Survival mode and
come back to play more to try to get best your high score.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an incredible deal. For 224, it's a steal.
Yeah, it is. Again, how did we never hear this game? I never heard of this game. That's why we have the show.
Yeah.
for games like this. Mike, I will say this. If you like that animation, I don't know if you've played Spiritfarer yet.
No.
You should.
I know what it is. I know what it's about, but yeah, I have not played it.
Because I mean, Jordan, wouldn't you say like that animation in that game is really good too, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Very pretty art.
Yeah, I think you'd like that. I mean, it's different. I mean, it's a management type game. But my wife, I think I told you this, right? My wife 100% of that game. She loved that game so much. I have yet to beat it, but my wife like took everybody's spirits to the other side. Because she felt like she had to do everything. She's a completionist, so she completed everything in the game. But she absolutely loved that game a lot. And
it's really good.
It is really good. But yeah, Mike, as I played this game, I was thinking, oh my gosh, this animation's so good. Oh, it reminds me of Spiritfarer. I think you'd like Spiritfarer, so you should try that game.
I shall put it on the list.
Also, this game does
make
have
a physical copy?
Multiplayer too. I don't think they have one yet.
Okay.
But this game does have multiplayer too.
Oh yeah, it does.
Which I didn't get to try out, but apparently has 2 to 4 player local. I don't know what kind of stuff. It just says make the sky tremble in a series of intense fight against your friends.
Oh.
So I don't know how that works. And then the only details it gives you is the beam consumes mana, gather mana crystals to replenish your mana, and dashing into opponents deals damage. So I don't know if it's like the flying around. So it's like 2 to 4 people flying around and you're fighting like in the air, like an Iron Man battle or something. But it seems like that may be the case.
Wow.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that because I thought like if they made an Iron Man game like this, that would be big. I think that would be really popular.
I would totally play a 2D Iron Man game like this.
Yeah. What a beautiful game.
So if anybody from Disney is listening to the podcast,
yeah, that's right. Play this game.
Yeah.
You can put your checks out to Jordan.
Yeah, cool. Good pick, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, Jordan, it's your turn.
It is. Before I get into it, I will let everyone know that there are a couple games on sale that you should get that we've talked about before, such as Waifu Uncovered and Real Heroes Firefighters. Both those are on sale right now.
Waifu. When's the sequel coming out to that?
I know, right?
Is there a sequel coming out for that?
How could there not be?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah.
I just broke Roger.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, Knock Blocker Deluxe or whatever is also currently on sale.
There you go.
Yeah.
Lots of good choices out there for everyone this week.
Yeah. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom is on sale. Mike, I know that you're a big fan of that game.
That's another amazing animated game.
Yeah. Real Heroes Firefighters.
Yeah, lots of good ones. So I was deciding what to do this week. I wanted to pick something that we hadn't done before. I was tempted to pick something really ridiculous, like Pantsu Hunter was on sale, but I'm not picking it. I'm over it. It took too long. I'm over it now, you know.
Thank you.
I was tempted to make us all play Nekopara, the anime cat girl like interaction game, I guess is the way to put it. I think there's like 3 of them at this point or something, maybe more. Actually, I think there's more because people keep buying them. There's up to volume 4, which came out in 2020, December 2020. So I was tempted to make us play that. I'm not doing that. So the game that I chose, which I also never heard before, is called Regions of Ruin. It is on sale right now for $2.50. It is normally $10, and it is on sale until March 24th. So you have quite a long time, 20 days from today. So good over 2 weeks by the time this comes out. And this is its all-time best price, and I'll just read it. Ever wonder what would happen if Kingdom, I don't know what they're referencing here, but Kingdom met a broad skill-based open-world RPG? Welcome to Regions of Ruin. Regions of Ruin is a 2D side-scrolling RPG with town building where you are introduced to an open world that progressively challenges your hero and settlement the further you delve into the vast continent. You will discover a foreboding land ravaged by hundreds of years of hardship. Where kingdoms have risen and fallen, settlements have been laid to waste and overrun by warring groups, and great mysteries lay hidden and waiting to be unearthed, assuming you can defeat their jealous guardians. Main features include Styled combat system with stats and leveling, skill tree to focus your fighting style, extensive loot and rare items to discover, forge your own equipment or smelt it for resources, open world exploration with a handcrafted environment, no randomized maps or levels, everything you see has been made with care, customized town building and expansion, rescue and recruit dwarves for your township and save them from extinction, send workers to harvest resources from explored regions, hire mercenaries to help in battle, and a multitude of quests in a main storyline.
Wow. That's a lot.
Can I just throw something out there?
2 really good readers of game quotes and descriptions.
Jordan, you were almost getting on the level of the guy from the old Micro Machines commercial.
Yeah. Oh man.
I just want to throw out there really quick that I think the word smelt is really underappreciated and I used it a lot more.
I was going to say you had me at smelt as well.
So
psychedelic, trippy, and smelt it all in one episode.
There you go.
The character kind of looks like Shovel Knight, actually.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it has the horn helmet and the blue color. I mean, I can't.
No, I can see what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Because in the art on the Nintendo store, it's an unhelmeted dwarf with a big beard and he's bald. So I was like, what?
Okay.
I would say the gray. You know what this kind of reminds me of? This reminds me of oh my gosh, Terraria.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
100%. Yep.
A little more RPG elements than Minecraft elements. So I'm looking forward to this. Good game. Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah, this looks interesting. Looks really cool. And I haven't heard of this game. This came out in December 2019.
Yeah, so it's been a bit.
Yeah.
Regions
heard of it.
Ruin.
Yeah. Apparently it says main story's 10 and a half hours. Completionist is 16 and a half. So like
very cool.
Yeah.
Well,
we'll see.
So very cool. So that will be next week. And I look forward to that. And Phil, I do look forward to hearing what you have to say about Everhood. If anybody else wants to play that game too, feel free. But I just want to hear
I'm definitely going to put it on my wish list. I'll probably wait for a sale to see what it goes on sale for. But
yeah. I think
it's going on the wish list.
Is it $14? I think, wasn't it, Phil?
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
Yeah. So, all right.
But I do like the fact that psychedelic, trippy. Hey, Phil, play this game.
Yeah.
Okay. Not that I'm being stereotyped and or pigeonholed and or truths are coming out, but whatever.
Well, Phil, if I knew what I was playing, I would have had you review this game.
Yeah, that makes it better.
All right, let's go around and tell people how they can get a hold of us. We'll start with you, Phil. How can people get a hold of you?
About to pull a Roger and crash my internet. You can find me on Twitter at BeanNow23.
Nice. And Mike, how can people follow you?
You can find me on Twitter at TCThrowers and at twitch.tv/TCThrowers.
Great. And Jordan, how can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at CrypticJordan.
And listeners, you can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Twitter at GamerheadsPC. You can also find us on Twitter at FocusNindie. And you can also go to our website at gamerheadspodcast.com, where you can hear this show along with other shows like the Controller Throwers podcast. That's Mike's other show.
Hi.
Also the Gamerheads podcast, the Real Dudes podcast, just to name a few. So you can go check that out. And then also you can read reviews of our games out there. I'll have a review of Everhood out there hopefully by the end of the weekend. So by the time you hear this, it may be out there. And then other news articles out there as well. All right. Well, Jordan, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Always.
And Mike, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Thank you.
And Phil, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Hey, man, no problem.
And listeners, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate the listen. If you like what you hear, give us a follow, subscribe to the podcast, and then also leave us a review if you feel so inclined. We'd love to hear what you have to say about the show. And with that, we'll talk to you next week. Please stay safe and game on. See you in a week's time on Sunday. See ya.
So long.
Take care.
Bye.